You've probably seen one of these before. It's what we call a honing steel, although some people refer to it as a sharpening steel. When it comes to keeping your kitchen knives sharp, it's the most important tool in your arsenal. Think of it as a way to touch up your edge frequently between major sharpenings. As we discussed in our How Knives Get Dull video, the most common reason for a knife being dull is that the edge is rolled over. Honing steels correct this. The rod here on the steel is a lot harder than the blade of the knife, and if you run the knife across the steel like this, it straightens out that rolled over edge. In terms of the angle for steeling your knife at, it's not as important as when you're stone sharpening, but to get a rough idea of what the angle should be, put your blade flat on the steel and then tilt it up until there's no visible gap between the cutting edge and the honing steel. Using the correct amount of pressure while you're steeling your knife is quite important. 4 pounds is a good place to start. To get an idea for what that feels like, put your knife on a scale and push down. As you're getting towards the end of your steeling, ease off on the pressure to between 1 and 2 pounds. There's a few different ways you can hold the honing steel on the knife while you're doing this. One way you'll see chefs doing a lot is stroking the steel towards themselves like this. The other way that you'll see a lot of people doing it is to plant the end of the steel on a cutting board and then stroke the knife down like that. And the way we use is to hold it in the air and to stroke away from yourself. Choose whichever one of those methods feels best to you. When you're doing any of them, you want to stroke starting at the heel and ending at the tip, stroking the whole edge of the knife. And you want to do about 5 strokes per side with a firm amount of pressure, around 4 pounds, and then ease off on that pressure for a few strokes at the end. So you ease off for 2 strokes at the end. There's a lot of honing steels in the market. Try to pick one in the $20 to $40 range, because less than 20 you might be getting something that's a piece of junk, and over 40 it doesn't make sense to pay more than that. Pick one in the 10 to 12 inch range, because that's going to work well for most knives. And finally, some knives aren't designed to be steeled, so do check with the manufacturer of your knife on that one.